Hello, everyone out there. This is the Yankee Marshal again. Well, of course, it's the Yankee Marshal. It's my channel, so I don't know who else you would expect. Every now and then, I like to answer questions that I get on my channel. And one question I get quite often is, where does the magic happen? Or in my case, I don't know if I'd say magic. Usually I just turn on the camera and then I say something really stupid or offensive, and then I do something weird and off putting. Then some people get angry and everyone gets a little upset. There might even be some tears. All in all, no one's really left happy by what happens. And in the end, it's just kind of a big waste of time. And no, I'm not talking about my boudoir. I'm talking about where I film my videos, although that description would be pretty much apropos for either or. When I first started doing videos, I just had a little handheld flip camera and I basically just filmed videos on a little table in front of my window in my living room. Then eventually I got tired of being told to get the hell out of the living room, so I decided, I'll go into the garage, set up some cheap lights, and do some videos in the garage. And after I filmed some tabletop videos, I started doing some videos where people could actually see me when I talked. And a lot of people think of that as the where my channel went wrong. But I started just standing in front of my safes and videotaping myself standing in front of the two old Century safes I had at the time. And that was pretty much what I did for videos. Then I moved up in the world a little bit, got a little cheap green screen set up and some cheap lights. And then I bought a camera from Best Buy, I think for like $200, a Canon video camera, and started doing my videos that way. But I was still in my garage. And I got tired of sitting in the garage, freezing my nuts off in the wintertime, roasting in the summertime, looking over and having a mouse steal my Cheetos, or look down and have a giant spider braiding my leg hair. So I decided to wall in a little part of my garage and create myself a little work area. So I got my oldest son and we started building a wall. We just framed a wall, drywalled it, insulated it. My youngest son helped screw the drywall up. That was his job, putting in the screws for the drywall. So don't make fun of the drywall pattern there for the screws. We fixed it later, but he did a pretty good job, I think, for someone who's 11 years old. Then once it was mudded and taped, I just painted it green. Now I have a green screen built in. I don't have to have that big sheet hanging behind me. I actually had a wall I could use as a green screen. Now, once I had the little room built, I basically just set it up in two different sections. I have one section where I have my computer. That's where I do my live chats. That's where I do my editing, etc. It's where I have my computer. Now, I don't use a real fancy computer. I just have a little Mac Mini. Now, in this area, I also have my gun safe. I have my gun safe right next to where I'm on the chats and right where I do my editing. That way, if I'm on a live chat and I talk about a gun and I want to show it, I can just reach right in the safe, pull it out, have the gun right there to show people on camera. I've even got it decorated up with some artwork people sent me over the years, my Punisher flag, a John Wayne plaque someone sent me, a Forged from Freedom lithograph someone sent me. I've got a nice little area over here that I use to edit videos and, like I said, be on live chats. When you hear me do my podcast, this is where I'm doing my podcast from. When you hear me on Gun Channel's chats at night, this is where I'm at. In fact, that's where I'm at right now doing this voiceover. Now, the second area that this room is divided into is basically where I film, and that area is divided into two sections too. Now, at first, I had a section where I had my GoPro. Now, this is where I stood up and did my videos in front of the green screen. I have a real cheap lighting set up. I just use little cheap shop lights. I don't have anything fancy, just a GoPro and some shop lights. And next to that, I have an area where I do my tabletop reviews. I have a little camera, my old Canon camera that I used to use before is now facing the desktop there. I use that when I'm doing a desktop review or doing a gunsmithing video, etc. Now, one thing I did have to do was install some rubber mats on the walls because I was getting a lot of echoing off the plain, bare walls. So once I put these little rubber mats up, it really helped a lot with the echoing on the sound. Now, since I set this up, I actually have changed, though. I actually invested in a little bit better camera. So now, where I did the stand-up videos before where the GoPro was, I have a nicer camera. And as you can see, I did a little hillbilly rig job since I couldn't find a wall mount that I liked well enough to hold up this newer, more expensive camera. So I basically just cut the top off of a tripod and bolted it to a wall, and I'm using that as a mount. It's really sturdy. It may not look nice, but it works really well. And then I decided, the area where I do my gunsmithing, it gets kind of dirty over there, so I needed an area to do tabletop reviews where I'm not doing gunsmithing, where I'm not getting oil all over everything. So I just built a little fold-up table that is down when I'm doing my videos where I'm standing in front of the camera. And then when I want to do a tabletop, I just fold it up, hook it to the chains, and I've got a little tabletop area to do my videos at now. And I'm still going to use the other area that has the little Canon camera that I used to have for tabletop reviews. I'm still going to use that for gunsmithing and stuff because I can get that area really dirty and it doesn't really matter. So as you can see, my setup is really, really simple, except for the addition of an expensive camera that I have now, which I'm kind of regretting because it kind of makes me look like it makes me look like I'm 50 years old, which I will be next year. So I didn't really think about that when I bought the camera, that it's actually going to make me look my age. But, I'll have to live with that, and maybe I'll start wearing makeup or something, or more makeup. So as you can see, it's nothing fancy. I'm not a big operation. I am not someone who has helpers. It's just me. I'm the only one that's doing everything. I don't have any help with anything, really. I don't have a crew. It's a one-man operation working out of a little room in my garage. Nothing fancy. But you know, it works for me. It's really easy. Like I say, I'm not a big flashy channel, so this works for me. And best of all, now that I've got this little closed off area, it's heated now, so I'm not freezing my nuts off. When it gets warm again, I left an area over the door to install an air conditioner, so I shouldn't be roasting in the summertime now. And I don't have mice and spiders crawling all over me all the time, so that's a plus too. But you know, the best thing is now that I've got it walled off from the garage and I don't have all the junk from the garage in here, I've got a big open floor space in here. And with that big open floor space, I get to do this.